You know what it is, what I do. Shit, man, up early as fuck. Shoot, pretty much up before the sun then got out and shit. Man, tired as fuck, man. But it's cool. I had to get that OT. Shit, I try to find my ways to chime in whenever I can. You know, I do it like this so that way I can actually, focus, no interruptions and shit. So I understand a lot of people still probably sleep, or if they, doing how I'm doing, shit, they probably up getting to the money, and that's cool. Shit, I'm here. There's a playback button. Oh, man, I need a shave and shit. Man. So, how about that fight, man? Yo, where do I start with this? Uh, Shout out to the family. You know what I mean? Shit, also my girl, brother-in-laws. Sitting there chopping it up, having a good time. Shout out to them. Much love to them. You know, it was fun being around them. Talking shit. You know, I ain't even gonna front, man. My energy was like, my energy was like up and down because shit. I worked the shift before the Tyson fight, knowing that I had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. you know, so by the time uh by the time the Tyson fight came on, shit, I was already ready to power down and shit. You know. Anyways, so where do I start with this one? I'm gonna go this way with it. Netflix, man. Let me tell y'all something. To anybody, saying that they got robbed by Netflix, let me tell y'all something. Netflix for most people ain't nothing but for like what, $12 a month. Shit probably went up. Another thing is, for all the people that say they got robbed, this is for people that didn't have Netflix but just now subscribing. Y'all know y'all on that 7-day trial thing, and y'all probably gonna cancel that shit before the 7 days is up. Y'all probably want the 7-day trial thing just so y'all can watch the damn fight. And another thing, shit, shout out to the people like me that got T-Mobile, cause y'all know damn well when it comes to T-Mobile, we don't have to pay for it. My Netflix is free. So shout out to that. Did I feel robbed at any time? No. You know, I didn't feel robbed whatsoever, man. My Netflix is free. Shit. Did I feel robbed of my time? Not at all. You know what I mean? I could have stayed at home, did laundry, get ready for this morning. But nah, I decided to go out with my girl, shit, go to her brother's house, decided to chop it up with them, drink a 6 pack, had a good time, eat some good food. So I can't complain too much about that. So where am I at with this? So I was watching the undercards, and obviously the fight that stuck out the most was Katie Taylor, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Shit, you ain't looking at me, motherfucker. I don't know you. Oh, dog, there's other parking spots. The fuck? Shit, I'm posted. So, like I said, the fight that stuck out the most, literally the best fight. Uh, what's her name? Katie Taylor fighting out of Ireland. Uh, Amanda Serrano. Shit, man, that fight was brutal, man. And you know what's crazy was, I feel like Serrano got robbed a little bit. Shit, Katie Taylor throwing headbutts. Man, that girl got a noggin, but Katie Taylor, a dirty fighter. But I guess that comes with the territory when it comes to a sport like that. Shit, elbows and headbutts, you know what I mean? It's like, what can you say, I feel like even with them, it should have been I think there should be a rematch on a better. And let me tell you something. Netflix need to get their shit together, you know. Shit. I was I was telling folks that I was with last night. I was like, shit, maybe next time. Hell, they supposed to be streaming WrestleMania on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. Shit, Netflix need to get that shit up. Shit, I mean, next time you guys want to stream a fight or whatever, go to Amazon Prime. Hell, go to Twitter. Shit, stream that shit on Twitter next time. Shit, when we talking about Elon Musk got fucking space hotels and shit, fucking robots and shit, Tesla bots and shit. You know what I mean? Yo, stream that shit on Twitter. You really think that fucking Elon Musk gonna fuck that up? Like, let's just be real. You know what I mean? Man, that shit was buffering like crazy. And we thinking it's our internet. We thinking it's our Wi-Fi and shit. And they come to think of it, shit. I'm logging in on Facebook, IG, whatever. Everybody shit buffer. It was like, what the fuck, bro? Shit. Shit, the biggest fight we had was with Netflix. Shit, man. Man. All that buffering, man. Netflix couldn't handle the pressure, man. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Even like when they all backstage and shit, they interviewed Jake Paul, asked him the thoughts before the fight, and then next thing you know, they went to Mike's locker room and asked Mike the thoughts before the fight, and then Mike shows his whole ass. Could you imagine if that shit buffered while Mike had his whole ass out? If that happened to you, God bless you. You might be entitled to compensation. Oh shit! It's like that shit really happened. I was like, what the fuck, Mike, bro? This dude, Mike, like literally just walks away, cheeks out. And I'm like, what the fuck? Wasn't ready for that shit. I don't think anybody was ready for that shit. And that's crazy how that's literally the highlight of that whole fight was Mike's ass, bro. And then I'm like, what the hell, bro? I was kind of traumatized for a minute. And I got my brother-in-law like, hey, Jeff, how you feeling? I'm like, what? Like, dog, what do you mean how I feel? I just saw Mike Tyson's whole ass, bro. Like, come on. What you mean how I'm feeling, bro? You like, you need to be careful with that shit. Like, you poking the eye out with that shit, bro. Oh my god. So I already know what everybody's thinking. Oh, it's a money grab and it's scripted. How can you script Mike? You know what I mean? Yeah, I kind of called it. I called it hell when they first started talking about it, and we talking about months ago, several months ago, damn near a year ago. How they was, oh yeah, it's gonna be Jake Paul and Mike Tyson and shit. And I was like, it's gonna go to decision. It's gonna go to Jake Paul, and we all know because Mike, being damn near 60 years old. Let's just round it up. He's 60, right? So Mike's 60. He has his, his age, but we all know about his back. The back surgeries and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be real. I knew it was gonna go to decision. You know, I knew it was going. I actually should have bet it. I should have betted my money on it. But it is what it is. You know, I didn't think like even though I did win. Okay, Jake Paul to decision, unanimous decision, and I was a bet. I didn't think I was gonna get much back from it anyways. Everybody, I don't know why y'all bet it. And I'm looking at some of the text message I got. Shout out to y'all, but I don't know why y'all bet all that money to see a Mike Tyson knockout. Let's just be real. This is not the '80s. This is not the '90s no more. You know what I mean? We should have seen that coming. We talking about a 60-year old, and we talking about reality, right? We talking about a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? We should have known that shit was not gonna be how we thought it was gonna be, how we wanted it to be. You know what I mean? Like, let's just let's just be real. You know. So so I could tell you this, right? I ain't gonna lie, Jake Paul got a little bit of my respect, but at the same time he don't. You know what I mean? Jake Paul actually has a good heart. And let's just be real. He could have actually knocked out Mike Tyson in the first round. You know what I mean? Like, Jake Paul showed a lot of restraint, you know, and you can kind of see leading up to all this, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are actually friends. You know what I mean? But I guess you could come to that. There's people in the sport of boxing that are actually friends or just have a mutual respect for each other. You know what I mean? But nah, these guys are friends. You could tell. You know what I mean? So we all know that if Jake Paul was actually trying, shit would have been totally different. He didn't want to see Mike Tyson get hurt. We didn't want to see Mike Tyson get hurt. Hell, at that first round, probably the second round, Mike Tyson showed us. You know what I mean? He was not moving. His legs weren't there. He didn't have that burst, that explosive with his punches. You know what I mean? He tried to throw some hooks. The hooks just weren't dropping. All right. He was basically a statue out there. We all seen it. You know what I mean? And my thing is like at some point, and this is me, at some point you're just like, damn, bro. I feel bad for Mike Tyson. But then at the same time, it's like when you feeling bad, you're like, man, I wonder how much this motherfucker getting paid for this. And then you're like, damn, Mike Tyson look bad out there. Should I feel bad for that motherfucker? And then you're like, does Mike Tyson feel bad for Mike Tyson? Cause after this shit, and we all know his podcast, after this shit, this motherfucker gonna go smoke a blunt. We know about Mike, bro. Mike Tyson probably, alright, roll it up. That motherfucker in a hotel room chiefing. You know what I mean? Like, man. If, like I said, Jake Paul has a good heart, alright? But I still can't respect him. You know what I mean? I still can't respect him. You know what I mean? And they showed, like, beginning of the fight, they show a montage of all of Jake Paul's fights. You know what I mean? So he fights retired fighters. Sometimes, like Mike Tyson, probably got to be the biggest fighter that he fought. When we talking about size and weight, right? You know what I mean? Jake Paul fight what? Anderson Silva. Um, sorry, there's other fights I can't really think of because I'm fucking tired of shit. But what's his name? Tommy Fury, whatever. Like Jake Paul, man, fighting fighters that was either smaller than him, older than him, retired MMA fighters, and transitioning from MMA, UFC to boxing is a totally different ball game. We know it's a totally different ball game. The fatigue factor hits. You know what I mean? The rounds are longer. The fight is longer when you transition from MMA to boxing. You know what I mean? And you're not throwing kicks or nothing like that. You're throwing punches. The gloves are a lot heavier depending on the weight class you're fighting on. You know what I mean? So by the time you hit that fourth, fifth round, sixth round or whatever, them gloves get heavier and them shits feel like bricks. Well, let's just be real. So though I respect Jake Paul for having a good heart, not knocking out Tyson, you know, he let it go the distance. You know what I mean? And he seemed pretty humble at the end of the fight. The interviews at the end of the fight, he's like, yo, man, I didn't want to get hurt. Shit, he's Mike Tyson. I didn't want to get hurt. I was doing my best. We all know, Jake, you weren't doing your best, but it's Mike freaking Tyson. We all love Mike freaking Tyson. All right, now, let's just be real. Like at the end of the fight, I was sad as fuck. And my girl, she kept looking at me. She was like, why you keep looking sad? And I'm like, because, man, he's Mike freaking Tyson. We grew up watching Mike freaking Tyson, man. So, that right there, that alone right there, I don't see somebody in the rearview mirror. All right. Shit, keep my head on a swivel, man. Like, shit, yeah, I'm watching this camera, but I'm watching rear view mirrors, all that shit. I got my best friend on my hip, so fuck with your boy, shit. But she was like, why you looking sad? And it's like, when you watch like, I was trying to explain to her, like, dude, Mike Tyson was one of my heroes. And then she was like, I don't know how the fuck he's a hero. I'm like, look, your definition of hero is completely different than mine. All right? And I'm not going to try to explain it. I do not want to explain it. But Mike Tyson is my hero. All right? He was one of my heroes. He was one of those dudes that didn't give a fuck. Like, he did not give a fuck. And when they say there's no script in Mike Tyson, there's no script in Mike Tyson. He could show his whole ass out in public and still get paid millions. Because you imagine this was prime Tyson, and I ain't talking about Tyson, the Gus Tamano Mike Tyson. I'm talking about. Could you imagine this was Don King Mike Tyson? Shit. If we was talking about the oh man, I ain't trying to bring this up. Let's just say the post no the before prison time Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Before the tattoo Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? If this was if this was literally prime Mike Tyson, the one that everybody was afraid of, and we talking about everybody, like man, this fight. This fight probably would have not even go to the second round. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, like Jake Paul, Jake Paul will be waking up in the back of the locker room, like the fuck happened. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was sad. You know what I mean? It's like yo, when you know the shit is over, it's like come on, man. It's like the golden era. You know what I mean? And I'm a '90s baby. You know what I mean? So yeah, I grew up watching, Tyson. And one of my brother-in-laws, he was asking, he was like, "Yo, when you was growing up, who was your favorite fighters? Can you remember who your favorite fighters was? Why when you was growing up? You know what I mean? The fights that you was watching and shit. Shit, I could tell you. You know what I mean? Shit, the fights that I was watching, or the fighters I was watching, of course, Roy Jones. Of course, Floyd. Of course, Sugar Shane, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto, Manny Marquez. Of course, I was watching Timothy Bradley. Shout out to my people that's down in Palm Springs, man. Shit, love y'all. Uh, who else? Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield. You know what I mean? Like we was watching, you know, so many more. Andre Ward. You know, oh yeah, he liked the Eagles cup. Shit, my girlfriend gave it to me. Love this cup. You know, could you imagine? And everybody had that one favorite boxer. Mine was Mike. You know what I mean? Because when you remember, I don't know if y'all raised how I was raised, but we didn't have digital cable back then. We had the black box. The black box, you could get any pay per view for free. They said it was stolen cable. I said it was a blessing. Mind your business. So we had the black box. And we used to have fight nights when we was a kid. You know what I mean? We had friends, family, people from next door, people from cross street. They come over. We had potlucks and shit. I'm too young to be in grown folk business. But I know a lot of people was, you know, cause when you got Mike Tyson in his prime going in the ring and shit, and you got some money on that joint, that shit is not going to decision. You know damn well. All right, I got Mike knocking him out the second round. I got Mike knocking him out the third round. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I'm too young for grown folk business. But if that shit go to the third, fourth round and shit like that, one of them motherfuckers upset. You see, all you see is you hear the dominoes, slamming on the table. They betting on the dominoes. They betting on cards. They betting on the fight and shit. But then when that fight goes on, that main event comes on, you see Mike Tyson and shit. Oh my God, it's something exciting. And you see the montage of Mike, you know, talking about eating motherfuckers' children and shit. Talking about, man, I'm just out to kill him. I'm out for blood. Like, and you like, God damn, is this motherfucker human? Like, oh shit, bro. That was the most exciting shit ever. That was one of the guys where it's like back then, I really thought he was indestructible. Nobody could not stop him. Whether it was in a ring or whether it was not. Like, he was one of those guys where you could literally see on an interview, a live interview, and he could call somebody a fucking scumbag. He could say fuck you on live television. And it's like, damn, he could say that shit. And we talking about the 90s. We talking about the mid 90s, the mid to late 90s, early 2000s. He's calling people a fucking scumbag. And it's like, damn, you could really say that shit? Like, I'm like, damn, Mike, you look just like me. You can say that shit to a white man on TV. And not, and I'm like, well, wait, nah. The fuck? He's like, well, shit, the fuck you gonna do? You're like, yeah, I said it. Oh, excuse me. He's like, yeah, I said it. The fuck you gonna do? And you like looking like, well, shit. The fuck you gonna do? That's the shit right there. Like, I'm like, yo, it hits home. It hits home because like when you watching people that you grew up watching and shit like that, and sometimes it ain't just about the fight for me. It's like it brings back memories. You know what I mean? It brings back memories. You know what I mean? It bring back the times when I was with family, you know what I mean, watching them and shit like that. You know, it bring back times when I was with friends and I'm watching shit like that. You know what I mean? So this is why I watch fights like this. You know what I mean? Now I get it. You know what I mean? The fight was mid. The fight was ass. It should never had happened. But at the same time, we all watched it. We all had a fight party. We all watched it. And I'm like, dang, we enjoyed each other's company. You know what I mean? We enjoyed the hors d'oeuvres. We enjoyed the drinks. You know what I mean? We enjoyed talking about our past favorite fights. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. At the end of the day, I can't complain about the fight. You know what I mean? It was a bad fight, but at the same time, it brought us together. You know what I mean? It brought us together, and I get to talk about, my experience, like, with other people and shit. You know what I mean? I get to talk about, you know, like how old I was when I first saw Mike, how old I was when I first saw Roy Jones Jr. You know what I mean? I could talk about a whole bunch of shit. Hey, you remember that time when Mike was on a press conference and he was like, he just stood up and it was like, yeah, I'll make you fucking love me. Like, he's saying some shit like that. You know what I mean? This is the reason why I watched it. I can't speak for everybody else, but this is what I got out of it. You know? So, yeah, I can't say that I was robbed. I can't say that I was robbed of the time, you know? I'm actually pretty happy that I get to see that. You know what I mean? Now, the the guy in the interview he said, "Well, Mike, what's your gut saying? You think this is gonna be your last time?" Mike, I love you, bro. But man, it's time to hang it up, bro. It's time to hang it up. Mike, I can tell you something, and don't even I know damn well you're not gonna ever like, who am I to you? But I'm just gonna say it anyways, right? Maybe promoting fights. You know what I mean? Maybe promoting fights. You see Floyd, man, he's promoting fights and shit. You doing Floyd Mayweather things, you know what I mean? Promote fights. Promote upcoming talent. Be a trainer. You know what I mean? There might be some upcoming talent and shit, rising stars and shit. Imagine if, you know what I mean? You got Mike Tyson, you know what I mean? Just right there in his corner, you know what I mean? Giving him the whole formula, you know what I mean? Like, this how you throw the left hook, you know what I mean? This how you move your head and shit, that peekaboo style of fighting, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, this gotta be it, you know what I mean? you know? Like it felt like I was watching a sparring match, you know? That's what it really felt like, a sparring match, you know. And I saw Mike, like, he threw a couple good shots, in the first round, but it's like after that, it's like, man, like I said, the guy's a statue. You know what I mean? His legs aren't there. You know what I mean? Looked like his back was hurting. Looked like he was tired. You know what I mean? Thankfully, the rounds was only like 2, 3 minutes long, eight rounds and shit. It's like at the end of the day, I can't complain. You know what I mean? Jake Paul. Look, if Jake Paul is a boxer and he want to be a boxer, you know what I mean? Oh, it's cool. You know what I mean? Like if he's just doing this shit just to promote talent that we used to watch, like retired talent that we used to watch when we was kids and shit, maybe that's his angle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a share my platform and shit like this. Maybe the guys that he's fighting, I'm trying to think of the logic here. Maybe the guys that he was fighting, you know what I mean? Cause it was all retired. You know what I mean? People don't even fight no more. Kind of old, and you know, maybe the guys that he was fighting is like, yo, man, I'm sharing my platform. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just maybe he's just that's his way of paying homage. You know what I mean? Maybe that's his way of, like you said, paying homage. Paying some respect. You know what I mean? Like giving them their flowers. You know, but if he's actually like on some real fighting shit, like he puts his blood, sweat, and tears for this. You know what I mean? Like train every day. You know what I mean? 6 to 8 months of training. You know what I mean? Like he wants to get the fight, the title fight, the belt, and all that shit. Like breathe, live, eat, sleep this shit till he's the champ. Man, bro, fight some fighters, like real fighters. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You said, hey, man, I'll fight Canelo. First of all, I don't think Canelo's actually taking you seriously. You know what I mean? If you really want to fight Canelo, that shit probably would have been happened. Canelo don't take you serious, bro. You know what I mean? Canelo will kill him. Canelo will kill him. Canelo, shit, that shit probably go to the third round just for Vegas and shit. That Canelo, like, okay, my friend, buenos noches. But yeah, that's all right, man. I was sad at the whole fight. You know, I was happy and sad at the same time. Mike should hang it up. So, anyways, I'm about to wrap this up because I gotta charge my phone. We out.